We're going to demonstrate the electrical troubleshooting event by Daniels Manufacturing. All of your tools will be provided in this case, and the first thing you'll need to use is your multimeter set to ohms. You'll go through each one of this is a point-to-point routing chart, and you'll go through each one of the routes to check the pin in the socket to make sure there's continuity. You'll want to listen for that audible click and keep going until you find the one that gives you a fault. In the competition, you will have to continue to ring out the connector until you hear all of the audible sound for each one of the pins and sockets. But for this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and replace the fault that I've found. Okay, I've found my fault. So make sure to take note of where your fault is. And the next thing you'll do is get the proper tooling to remove that pin and socket. So this is the extraction tool. You'll put it over the contacts and you'll push it out the back. At that point, you or your partner will have to go around and take out the faulty wire. Like so. Once that's been completed, you'll come back, and now what you need to do is you need to properly terminate a new wire. So we have pre-stripped wire here, and you will take the ends off. You'll take your crimp tool and you'll set it up appropriately, making sure that the handle is open when you're putting the turret head onto the actual tool, like so. Okay, and there's a little hex screwdriver in here where you have to lock the turret head onto the tool. There's 2 screws to do that. All right, once you have that done, you'll have to reference the data plate to make sure that you have your tool set up properly for the size of gauge wire and contact. You can move this part here and the selector setting as well to make sure it's on the right setting. Once I have the right setting, I'm going to take one pin and one socket that's provided. Put those into my tool that's now been set up. Making sure that it's completely set up, press this all the way down. Drop it in. Go ahead and take your wire. Properly terminate your wire. There's one side. Now I need to do my pin. You must make sure that the wire maintains in the barrel. Like so. Then from there, you need to go ahead and insert this newly terminated wire back into the connector, making sure that the pin goes on the pin side and the socket goes on the socket side. Okay. Once that's done, you will need to check the continuity of that spot to make sure that it is right. Okay, that's been done. And then you will have to take this retention tester and you will have to make sure that you've fully inserted it to where the contact has engaged the locking tines. There's one tip for your socket, and then you'll trade that out for your other tip for your pin. You change it out by screwing it into the top of the retention tester and again pressing on the contact to make sure that it's fully seated. You only have to put enough pressure to make sure that this gets beyond that line. Once it covers the line, that's enough force to make sure that the locking tines have engaged. At that point, you're done. You will put all of your equipment back in its proper spot, making sure to disassemble the turret head from the crimp tool, turn off your multimeter, put everything in its spot, and call time.